everybody, this is Doll Dazzler and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my Betsy McCall dolls, and two of them anyway. I have a couple of Betsy McCalls, but I wanted to share these two particular with you because in my last video I had shared with you my honey doll and the special feature of the flirty eye. So these two dolls do have that flirty eye function. They open and close, and they also move from side to side, and I'll show you that in just a second. Betsy McCall was made by several different companies, and I do believe that she is still being produced today by the Tonner Company and possibly some other doll companies as well. But these two in particular were made by American Character in 1959, and the one in pink, that is her original dress, her original cotillion dress. And I know that there's a name for this dress. I can't remember off the top of my head what the name of the dress is. But when I purchased her, I was able to buy her in her original gown. And the other one that's in the pink and the blue dress, that dress I had, it's not a Betsy McCall dress. It is a dress that I was able to pick up at an antique store. Kind of like a time period dress, like the 50s style vintage dress for her. So I'm going to bring the camera a little bit closer so that you guys can see. I'll do it a little bit closer on this one. And that way you guys can see how their eyes move. Their eyes move a lot better than the composition. I still want to be really careful because vintage dolls are, they're fragile, and so you need to handle them with a lot of respect. And when I get a doll in, I try not to touch them a whole lot. I usually, this is the way that the dolls came in, other than me redressing the other Betsy McCall over here. I really have not handled them a lot. This is the way that they arrived to me, so I don't try to touch them a lot. So I'm still going to be a little bit careful when I move their heads, but you can see her eyes move so much easier than the composition dolls. So you can see, and hers kind of wiggle around a little bit. But the interesting thing about the eyes for these dolls is they're seated in the head a little bit differently. They're actually in kind of like they're kind of like in a little bulb molded into the plastic, and it's just round, and so it's able to just move around in there versus the composition doll that it has a weight in it that moves the eyes. So that makes her eyes a lot more movable than that composition. Her hair is in great shape. When I look for a doll, and I've neglected to mention this, when I am looking for a doll to add to my collection, the first thing I look for is at the face. The face is a really important feature to have in the best condition as possible, because that's, for display. I look for a really good face with good face paint, and then also the hair, and whether the hair has been, if it's a wig doll, that the wig is intact and that it's original to the doll. I have run into the cases where the wigs aren't original to the doll, and so I've had to add hair to them. But this is something that I really look for as far as the condition of the hair, and then also the body. The limbs for older dolls can be a little bit hard to find online. People do sell them, but to find the actual limb that belongs to that doll and the maker, that sometimes can be a little bit difficult. So I also look for the limbs to be intact. And then to be fortunate enough to find the doll in its original clothing as well. That's always an added plus. So I was really, really happy to have her in my collection. And then this one over here, she has that same function of her eyes, and hers wiggle really well as as well. So these dolls are very cute. Hard to find, a little bit harder to find. You can find them on eBay relatively easy, but you will see that they cost a little bit more money because of that flirty eye function. These are, I believe they're 20 inches tall, and they are jointed. They're jointed at the arms and the legs, and of course the head. And then on the back, let's see if I can move it over here since she's got an open back dress on. I'm going to move it down just a little bit so maybe we can get a good view of her back. I believe that she's marked on her back. Maybe on her neck. Yeah, she's actually marked on her neck. So we'll see if we can get this on the video. I'll just lift up her hair here. Yeah, so it's going to be kind of hard to see, but there's like a little round circle on her back, on her back of her neck, and it's marked McCall 1950. This is actually 1958, and so it says McCall Corp. And then there's like the little copyright in the middle. So that's how those dolls are marked. And turn her back around. Her hair is a little bit kind of wiry, and I don't know if that's the way they were originally, or if that's what happens to the oils in the hair over time. But she's a fabulous doll. These are this doll is very, very clean. She's I got her for a great deal as well. I was really, really lucky to get this doll in the condition that she's in. I have not done anything with this doll. I haven't done anything with it. So the condition that she is in right this minute is the way that she arrived to me. And this one over here, as you can see her close-up on her face, she does have a little bit of staining on her vinyl. And this can happen over time when they are stored like in a moist condition or with humidity. So you gotta be kind of careful with how you store dolls. So you can kind of see a little bit. It's not real bad. And maybe a little bit of cleaning might take some of this off. But like I said, I don't do a lot of handling of these dolls. And while I have her to the side, you can see that they have, on these dolls, they have the real eyelashes. So that, it makes them really, really adorable. Their eyes are so cute. So these are my Flirty Eye Betsy McCalls. And if you guys like these dolls, please like and subscribe. And like in my last video, if anybody out there has some Betsy McCall Flirty Eyes, or just Betsy McCall in general, I do have a few other Betsy McCalls, some from American Character, and I believe one from Ideal. But there are some other ones that are kind of rare to find as well. There's one that was made by Anita. And if anybody out there has a doll that they would be willing to share a picture or a video, that would be fantastic. Because it's one thing to see them like in a book and a picture, and it's quite another thing to see them either in a video or in real life. It's a real treat to see these dolls. So if anybody out there has one of these to share, please share it. And if you have any questions about these dolls, please leave it in the comments below. And thank you so much for stopping by my channel. And I will be doing another video. I'm not too sure yet which doll I'm going to pick, but I will see you in my next video.